would be it. Ari now being locked in for LAKAN Esports into the mid lane as well opens up the ADC spot for FENNEL adversity and the dual lane overall. So Nami and Cormi gotta be locked in for FENNEL up against LAKAN Esports.
Yeah, and to just backtrack a bit in game number one, if ever Aizen actually used the package at the top lane before he used teleport at the Baron, maybe the minions could not have reached their base. That's a small possibility that played in my mind. But anyway, while I was talking, that is the leader Khan and Saya being locked in by Lakan will be up against Corky and Nami. Unless you want to try something crazy, Ziggs is still open though for Final Adversity, and you have Renekton going over to the Baron lane, and Oriana, Fennel, they want to fight. That's it. That's the message in their draft right now.
Definitely, they really want to fight because I think they're going for the wombo combo. Nami and Oriana has AoE CCs. Renekton and Rengar has single targeted CCs. So I think this could complement each other, and Corki will be onto the backside, dealing so much damage. So I think that is what FENNEL Adversity wants to do. However, one loophole that I'm looking at for FENNEL Adversity is a lack towards the tank role. Yes, Renekton can tank out, but when it comes to the 5v5, the backline axis is open for LAKAN Esports to take in, especially if they have Rakan, if they have Riven, if they have Darius up against FENNEL's Adversity's composition.
I'm actually looking at the jungle Riven now. I'm not sure if Riven will be able to catch Rengar, but at the very least, you have the usual Darius and Riven combo, the stun, and then the Nation Guillotine. So, which means Lakan needs to stretch the game again. You have to make sure the Dene will be online and go in with the pickoffs. You have to make sure Aizen will be able to just shred the life bars of Corki, maybe even Renekton at some point. And you really have to put a lot of win conditions on Arjuk's shoulders because he is the one that is gonna start the possible fights or possible pickoffs. But overall, Fun Adversity, they are all about that damage, all about that mid to late game power.
Yeah, look at the respect here for LAKAN Esports and FENNEL Adversity. I think they're smelling the killing intent for power and Tante going for the mid lane first. So I think it's just an even trade, pretty much very standstill for both FENNEL Adversity and LAKAN Esports for now. But Yuko, Cloud Dragon first objective, what do you think will happen later on?
I feel like we are gonna see a possible first blood or maybe even two kills going over to one of these teams. But again, Fan Adversity is up on one game. Now looking into the Baron lane side, you have Power will be of course up against Tante. Yet again, Apprent is gonna connect, but I don't think they are gonna commit unless Tante wants to get that first blood.
Right. Now, what I think onto the Cloud Dragon is I think FENNEL Adversity is going to run it back into the first game. Go to the Rift Herald, leave the Cloud Dragon open for LAKAN Esports to take in because when you're looking at value, this is not like the Infernal Dragon first dragon objective that we saw from game number one. This is just a mere Cloud Dragon. Yes, it gives you extra mobility for the roaming game in this mid phase of this game number two. But the Rift Herald getting that tower first blood is going to be much more important. And that, I think, is what FENNEL Adversity is going to do.
Danny and Rafael being able to just utilize the early game power that their composition has. They have no other choice but just push Rakan and Saya back. Now you have also Domain being able to get the first Rift Scuttler. The moment he reaches level 5, I feel like Ari as well as Saya needs to constantly check their backs.
Oh, and speaking of which, you have Rengar already going for an aggressive play into the bot side jungle, but Tower is now fighting up against stream members for LAKAN Esports. That will be the first blood going for the side LAKAN.
Goodness me, that is going to be the start that LAKAN Esports needed. Overall, Power just had no other choice but to accept his fate. That was a 1v3 under turret, and LAKAN Esports could still dive.
So currently, LAKAN Esports with the lead. FENNEL Adversity now needs to think what are their options. Because it is Chinese one. Was able to take that kill means that jungler has more gold, so this may increase the jungle difference, but Flash will be forced by Shaw because of the charm from Dedenne into the mid lane.
I actually thought that the Dene was gonna get that kill there, but eventually Shaw used his flash. So now Lakan can try and visit this Oriana into the lane, but looking back into the brown lane side, ultimate is available. Also have the flash, but there is no more barrier for Tante.
But I think he can still sustain himself. You have to remember, Power is already on a death deficit against Tante, which means Power has lost 1 to 2 minion waves already. Tante is on a lead when it comes to the gold accumulation up against the same Baron laner. So even if the barrier is not going to be available, I think he can still match it up against Power into the Baron lane on a 1v1. Although things may change as 30 seconds left, and these two objectives are now going to come up.
You now have LAKAN Esports pacing themselves or making their way down into the Dragon. I thought they were gonna hold their ground into the Repel, but they want blood.
Oh, the charm once again connects onto Shaw, follow through with the shockwave to try and save himself, but he will fall in the hands of three for LAKAN Esports.
I think I jinxed it. Now you have LAKAN with the early game power. And again, this is what they want. This is a scaling composition. If they're able to scale, they'll be able to make a run for it. However, Final Adversity, they are still holding their ground, but that is going to be the Drake going over to LAKAN, non-contested. FENNEL, they could just play the game that they did in game number 1, which is the objective game.
Yeah, this is as expected for Final Adversity. They have to prioritize onto Rift Herald because Tower's Blood is still available for this game. And it's only just the Cloud Dragon for the very first dragon available in the game. So I think it's not just so high priority in the list for Final Adversity to try and contest it against LAKAN Esports.
Man, that's gonna be another kill. Going over to LAKAN. Shaw say goodbye, but the first blood turret going over to FENNEL. 0 and 3 on the scoreboard right now. You have a 1k gold lead in favor of FENNEL.
Well, I guess it's no longer right that because 200 is now going to be the standing difference for Final Adversity up against LAKAN Esports. But we might potentially go there because right now, Final Adversity still having that Rift Herald safely in their pockets might be used later on for the next dragon or get immediately the next turret to gain that 1k gold lead.
Now, FENNEL Adversity still very close with their gold compared to LAKAN, and Power still just ramping up on that damage as well as the armor. Tante, again, I guess both brand laners are just playing this one conservatively. Tante, though, does have a slight level lead. Now you have the Dragon Lane duo into the mid lane. The swap has come through. I'm not sure if LAKAN will try to do the 1-3-1, but looks like they're gonna go with the 1-2-2. Ari, and of course this Riven is down at lower part of the map. Domeng looking for his next possible target, but LAKAN is not showing their positioning just yet.
They're hiding it. And when it comes to the information game, it also reflects your statement on how LAKAN Esports is able to remove the vision game for Final Adversity in their very own jungle. So this is what LAKAN Esports needs to do. The vision game is something that they need to be ahead of Final Adversity because in the game 1, it was a difference where in Final Adversity had that constant vision on where LAKAN Esports is. The Chinese one though is now gonna be Trills the Hunt, putting him away. That's gonna be the first kill for Final Adversity in this game.
And immediately they summon the Rift Herald because as you can see, LAKAN Esports, most of them are into the mid lane. You have Power and you also have Shaw holding them off guard, and that is going to be another turret going over to FENNEL. LAKAN Esports will not be able to defend that, but at the very least, they can pick a fight, get the pickups, or maybe trade one mid lane turret, but I don't think that's possible because they want to get the kill.
But Chinese one wants to actually try to catch up onto Domeng, but Domeng's just too quick, just too mobile. Gets that mobility up to go to the turret and is now safe. Currently, the gold lead is towards the Final Adversity at 1k gold, as you were predicting a while ago for Final Adversity in this state of the game, but still on a deficit onto the Dragon objective in this game.
Looks like now FENNEL would just want to keep the minion waves pushing in like what they did in game number 1, but now LAKAN, they're clumped together. That is gonna be their go signal.
Oh, grand entrance with a quickness and goes for the double man knock up. LAKAN Esports though will be hindered down by the Aqua Prison. from Nami. So
What
that
a good
itself,
bubble.
yeah, did not get any kill, but you have Dedenne though.
Okay.
Ninja. But he's
Ninja.
afraid. Yeah,
I
he's
thought he
afraid.
was actually gonna commit there, but at the very least, I guess he just did not want to play a under turret pick-off fight, even though because he doesn't have flash available, he did not want to risk using that spirit rush. So now it's gonna be back to the drawing board for these two teams. Next dragon is gonna be up in 13 seconds. There is a ward placed from the side of Lakan though, into up here in the barrel lane side. Now Lakan, they want to get the pick off.
Oh, Dedenne with a charm. Actually connects onto Rafi. Rafi still gonna be alive. Dedenne ultimate's out. Aqua Prison in. That's gonna be half HP for Ari. But Dedenne will still be alive. You have Rengar goes for the Trail of the Hunt, goes for the flash. Actually kills down Dedenne. And now they're at a numbers advantage. FENNEL adversity as they can take down Renekton, going for the flank, goes for the stun. 1 HP for Rakan. And now Guillotine will kill off one. The reset will come through for the ultimate, kills off the double. Oriana will fall. And now it's Sante gonna be knocked up with Tidal Wave Rengar to finish it all off. And FENNEL will get the trade with a 2 for 2.
Yeah, that is going to be a 2 for 2 in favor of no one. But can I just say that the communication from FENNEL is definitely on point. Lakan, if you can recall, the shield that Arjuk did was enough to heal and at least sustain or protect his teammate. It just so happened that the moment this Rengar and this Corki decided to join the party, they just could not stand the damage gun entrance in, but Arjuk jumps out.
Ooh, look at the damage from Dameng. It's down Lakan in a huge damage down. But you have Lakan Esports going for the contest. Though Twin Shadows actually slows down one. Quickness with the grand entrance. Lakan Esports has stolen the Ocean Dragon. And that will be the one kill trade that FENNEL Adversity has gotten at the very least. Tidal Wave, Rengar jumps in, tries to get the kill down. Corki with a missile barrage, and Tante will fall. And Lakan Esports makes it even against FENNEL Adversity at a 5-5. Yeah, 3K gold lead ready for FENNEL Adversity. Which means, when it comes to the item advantage, they have it. Baron Nashor also now alive when it comes to the vision game. Lakan Esports has the edge. He has the vision onto the top side, bot side river, and also that dragon pit. So that gives information for Lakan Esports on what they want to do in this game. Because when you're looking at FENNEL Adversity, they have none so far.
Is gonna be a fun adversity. They want to get the next possible target. Maybe Dedenne, but I don't know. At this point, I think Lakan should try to group together. But again, it begs the question: who will take care of power? I guess Renekton could try and join the fight now. Dominus.
Power with a stun, Rengar with the Drill of the Hunt, goes for the flash. Dante wants to go for the retreat, but he can't against two Fed champions. And FENNEL Adversity once again takes down 2 or 1.
That burst from Shondo, but the charm.
Grand entrance, Tidal Wave actually zones them away. That was a phenomenal ultimate coming in from Rafi that enables FENNEL Adversity to be able to go for the counter engage. And now LAKAN Esports is on the edge of what they need to do because now FENNEL Adversity is getting that driver's seat in this game.
And adversity, hello? What was that power? What was that damage? Apparently forcing LAKAN Esports to jump back. Here is the problem. With Tante not in the picture, who will be your frontliner? Riven? Yeah, sure. But you have Corki, you have Shaw, you also have Domeng. These champions just spit out damage faster than Eminem just spitting the bars. But here the mid lane don't knock off and it will be power saying goodbye.
Massive charm coming in from Ari, coming from Dedenne, alongside with Ardruk to be able to go for the grand entrance as well. Phenomenal playstyle from LAKAN Esports, but still, You have the Baron buff for FENNEL Adversity onto more or less 4 players or 4 members of this team, so they can actually pressure down. But LAKAN Esports actually going for the counter again, goes for the grand entrance in, tidal wave, disengage, and Oriana getting the kill onto LAKAN with a double kill with the power attack. And LAKAN Esports is down 2 members. Good response from FENNEL Adversity.
Good response. And actually, that was a good try from Arjuk. It just so happened that you still have Danny with the package, was able to just use special delivery to not die. And the moment Nami popped in, Rafa popped in with the tidal wave, plus that shockwave, it just bursted down the life bars of LAKAN. They had no answer to the firepower that FENNEL is dishing out right now.
Now, FENNEL Adversity goes for the recall. That was a clever move. Why? They got an inhibitor turret. That is what they want. The Infernal Dragon is coming up at 10 seconds. So if they go for the recall, they have time to make it into the Dragon's Pit to be able to get that objective. And as we all know, Infernal Dragon is so much of a huge priority in this game as a dragon. So now, FENNEL Adversity having that dominance onto the Dragon's Pit forces LAKAN Esports on what they need to do as a response onto FENNEL Adversity now taking it down.
Look at how fast they got the Infernal Drake, and look at how fast Power will say goodbye.
It's a worth trade. FENNEL Adversity got the Infernal Dragon for that one death. Now the tidal wave though actually zones out the enemy team. Tante 1 HP. The flash will now gonna be burned by Rafi over the wall. Grand entrance to go for the knockup. Shockwave will come through as well. That I think LAKAN Esports took the win because they got the kill, they got a turret. So they got a lot of gold out of that, but FENNEL Adversity still had that stuck with that Infernal Dragon to be able to impact in the next few minutes to come.
Whenever these two teams fight, I feel like it's almost always a low kill count because again, they just want to play the chess game. Power will be up in 3 seconds, so the FENNEL Adversity could just go back to what works. But if we're gonna look at the turret takedowns, FENNEL being able to get 6 turrets while LAKAN only got 1. The goal lead also ballooned in favor of FENNEL. To top things off, they have the Infernal Dragon buff. LAKAN, yes, they do have 2 dragons, but they are behind in the other aspects. What they could do though is play the pick-off game. But who will they pick off? Rengar? I don't think so. Shaw with Oriana, but he's always accompanied by Power. Are we gonna settle with Danny and Rafe? No, because most of their damage, like 40-45% of damage from FENNEL Adversity is coming out from these two.
Look at Renekton, look at Power. Actually going for the mid lane push. This might be LAKAN Esports trying or needing to go back because now it's 2 lanes being pressured in by FENNEL Adversity. Might be able to go down into lane control towards the inhibitor turret. So FENNEL Adversity having that lane pushing down onto the top side. LAKAN Esports going for the recalls. They're now able to go for the Baron Nashor and force it away. LAKAN Esports needs to do something. Tidal Wave will zone away LAKAN, and that quickness and Grand Entrance will now be disabled and rendered useless. And FENNEL Adversity once again gets the Baron Nashor.
At the very least, no one did die. Arjuk almost got bursted down. Their Power already has GA. So again, FENNEL being able to get the Baron, which means the push from the minion is going to be intense. And if you are going to look at the gold right now in our head-to-head, let's look at the Baron laners first. It is pretty much close, but you have the small lead in favor of Tante. But now if we are going to look at the ADC, Saya is actually very much behind. 2K behind this core game. That's not something you'd want. I mean, yeah, she has IE. She also has a Solari. But will it be enough? Because you already have what, 2 or 3 items done for Corki, Tidal Wave. No follow-up. Okay, that was too close. Too close for comfort.
Yeah, too close for comfort indeed. If Shaw dies in that, they lose a Baron buff. And on top of all that, they lose one of their major damage category players for FENNEL Adversity. But now it's going to be Power, going to be picked up and down. LAKAN Esports is doing everything that they can to bring down this champion, but Riven falls down. Dante will follow through and detonated 1 HP. It's going to be FENNEL Adversity once again dominating those fights, and TPs are not coming through to go for the back door. This might be the end gaming push that FENNEL Adversity wants. The charm will connect onto Shaw. Shaw will go for the Stasis Enchant to live a little bit longer, but the Nexus base will be towards the hands of FENNEL Adversity. Finishes game with a sweep.